guys, it's me. It's Miss Husky again. I haven't seen y'all in a little while. Miss Schwartz wanted me to kind of go over some lessons with you about researching for your To Kill a Mockingbird research project. And so in this particular lesson, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to AVL, the Alabama Virtual Library. Some of you may have used it before. Some of you may be like, what are you talking about? I have never even heard of that. Well, I'm going to walk you through. It's going to be short and sweet. And if you have any questions afterwards, you know where to find me. Just find me in the library. You can email me, whatever you need to do, and I will help you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So let's get started. Okay, kiddos. So our starting point today is going to be Bob Jones' homepage. So I showed you this the other day when y'all were in here. When you click on academics and then you select Media Center, it brings up the library page. But if you click right here, this little tab that says library links, this is that student Symboly web mix where I've curated all these links and websites for you guys. So first column, that third row where it says research resources, got a little laptop. If you click on that little folder, it has all this stuff in here, okay? I'm going to talk to you about some of this stuff a little bit later on, but for right now, we're going to go to Alabama Virtual Library. Now, you could simply Google Alabama Virtual Library. I'm just showing you where all this other stuff is. Okay, so from here, if you were at home and you were asked to put in a username and password, it's not a big deal. It just means that the supercomputer does not recognize your home IP address as physically being in the state of Alabama. It just depends on who your internet service provider is. Not a big deal. Just let me know. All right. So from here, click on high school, and then we get this yellow kind of a topic bar right here. So we're going to select literature and language, and that will filter out all those extraneous databases that don't have to do with what we're actually going to be researching. Look at this fourth one where it says Gale Literature. That's the database that we're going to use today. So in the little search bar, start typing in the name of the novel, and you want to make sure that the option that you choose is where it says novel, not the screenplay. So we're not talking about the movie, we're talking about the book. So select To Kill a Mockingbird novel. So we got 139 articles that have To Kill a Mockingbird in them. They hit on those words, the novel. Keep in mind, not all 139 of these are actually going to be 100% about To Kill a Mockingbird. I know, shocking, right? They may just mention To Kill a Mockingbird. So what we're going to do is where it says filter your results, click on the little box that says subjects, and if you scroll over, you kind of see it because it's cut off a little bit, but it says To Kill a Mockingbird novel. So we want the subject of the articles that are pulled up to be about the novel, like 100%. So now we have 85. Okay, that's quite a few. We want to kind of narrow that down a little bit, and there's a variety of ways that you can do that. One way, if you look for, okay, so my little my folks who are very visual, the topic finder, this is kind of a neat way to research. You can look at tiles that give you these little tiles. And so when you click on a bigger tile, like racism, then you have these little smaller tiles within. So there are 13 articles that deal with racism, okay? And you can narrow that down. So this one, an overview of To Kill a Mockingbird, discovering theme and structure in the novel. You can click on any of these, okay, and find that article. The wheel, I really kind of like this view because you've got like in the that middle ring is kind of a broader topic, whereas the outer ring breaks it down even more. So if you're talking about racism, prejudice, I mean, we can click right here. Let's just select one of them just for the heck of it. Okay, so we've got this full text article, and this is all we get. So this is not actually going to help us at all, right? So we don't want to look at that one anymore. So we're just going to click the little back button. Maybe you will want to look at an overview, okay? So it gives you some related subjects. Keep in mind, those are actual keywords that you can look up. So this article, I don't know how long it is, but let's say that if this article were like 50 pages long, you wouldn't want to sit there and read all of that. However, if you use a shortcut like Control F or Command F if you're on a Mac, it opens up this little find window. And within this find window, we can start typing in some of our keywords. For example, we can start typing in racism. Now, keep in mind that if I finish the word, notice that it gives me only six instances. But if I truncate that word, which means that I just want to use the root part, like RACI, so I get racial, racism, and various words. So you see I've got racism here, here, and then this is racial prejudice. I can look, and so there's 13 instances of that. So for this particular article, let me show you this really super cool feature of Gale databases that, let's say that we really like this particular quote, if you will, because it will be a quote. So we're going to hold our mouse down and select the entire sentence, okay? Then when we let go, we get this little pop-up menu. So let's say that we want to color this one green. We're going to highlight it green. We're going to color code our information. So in all caps, I like to put like the topic, the word that I did my, Control F on. And then here is where we're going to put our notes. Now, your annotations, your notes, think about it. Remember, we've talked about, I know you've talked about CDC a lot. So the data in CDC is your highlighted portion, okay? That's your evidence. The commentary is what you type in this box. So these are the things that you want to think about. You want to answer these questions. What is the effect of this racism on the novel? What is the author trying to tell me, the reader? What does the author want me to know about this? How does it characterize certain people? What is the overall effect? And then of course, you've got your prompt. So when you have answered these little questions, and they don't have to be complete sentences yet, we're just in the kind of the general note taking stage. Sorry. Just put down your thoughts because you don't want to forget, and then you're going to click save. Okay. Then we can go to our next instance and we can say, okay, I really like this one. Okay. So from here, I'm going to highlight it. Oops, I didn't mean to do all that. Look, going all crazy. We're going to highlight the whole thing, and then I'm going to make it green. And why am I going to make it the same color? It's the same keyword. Notes. Okay, so put my annotations. Now let's look for a different keyword. Like maybe we're going to look at something like prejudice. So we've got 6 incidents here. So as I go through, I like this one. So I am going to select it. Gosh, I'm hitting my keys too hard. Sorry, y'all. It's a new laptop. Gotta learn. Okay, and we get the whole sentence, and I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to change the color to blue because I've got a different term. Okay, now my term is prejudice, and then I'm going to put my notes in there. Okay. So you go through, you're gathering up some keywords and synonyms. So you may have like justice and injustice, prejudice, race, racism, racial, those kinds of words. And so it will get the entire word if you just like stop typing halfway through, like in prejudice. So let's say that you're looking for justice. Okay. Now keep in mind that I got to put the I in there. So I get injustice as well. Okay. It gives me both of them. So it can be justice and injustice. Okay. If that's a different keyword, then that's going to be a different color. Maybe you're going to make that one purple. I don't know. It's up to you. You get to pick. Just know that when you finish this article, you want to make sure that the next article, that every time you're looking at the keyword race, you make it green or whatever color you choose. You just want to make the colors the same. Okay. So if you decide that racism is going to be green, then you need to write yourself a note so that you don't forget and start making all funny colors, and it'll confuse you later on. Okay, so we've gone through this entire article. We've gone through all of our little keywords. Now we want to get this article to ourselves. So this little paper airplane icon, we're going to click on it. Google Drive is default. So when we click on Google Drive, it's going to say, yep, gave us a message. It is there. Okay, before we navigate away from this page, folks, you must go to your Google Drive and make sure that that article is there. Because if you backspace or navigate away from it, guess what? Everything that you have just done will be erased. Okay, so let's see. I should have a folder. There's a folder. So Gale Literature. And let's see. This is our article. Overview of To Kill a Mockingbird. So there's our article. You can see our highlights there. Okay. And so I'm good that it's there. I will take you through that a little bit later. So let's go back to Gale Literature. So now I know that that article is safe and sound in my Google Drive, and I can keep going. So that's the visualization tool. But what I'm going to do now is take you through a linear search. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. I like doing it this way too. So it says that we've selected full text and we've got our subject, but we've got 85 different articles here. So I'm going to use the option under filter your results of search within. So I'm going to search with it. Keep in mind, guys, you do not want to put like a complete sentence in there. You want to just put a key word. So let's say that we want to look at gender. So we're looking at gender roles, okay? So we just put in gender, not gender roles, just gender. And then we're going to click submit. All right, so it narrowed down 22 of those articles, okay? So I can go up and I'll look at this one, Julia Pond. So let's just look at this particular article. So I've got this article right here, and what I can do is Control F, Command F if you're on a Mac, and I can type in, see that we were looking at justice. So I can type in gender, okay? And so I've got 3 instances of that. So let's say that I like this sentence. So I'm going to select and highlight, get the whole thing, y'all. And maybe this one is going to be purple for me. So I'm going to put my keyword, all caps, and then that's where I'm going to put my annotations. And I'm going to click save, okay? And I can go through the rest of those, okay? Like this one, okay? But let's find something else. Maybe womanhood, okay? There's an instant of that. So maybe what I want to do is I got to back up and go through and get the entire quote. So that one, I'm going to make it pink. Girls like pink. I like pink. All right, womanhood. And then that's where I'm going to put my notes. Okay, so now I've got all of my notes. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that little icon, little paper plane, and put it in my Google Drive. But don't navigate yet. Let's see if it's there. Yep, there it is. No one likes to feel like an adolescent. Okay, and then I can scroll through. I see that I've got some annotations there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that is how you use Gale Literature. Now we're going to come back to this in a different lesson, but I wanted to show you one other database that might be useful to you. It's called Novels for Students. Now it's not going to be under Literature and Language, which doesn't quite make sense to me, but I don't run AVL, so whatever. But if you click on ebooks, okay, Novels for Students, these are all alphabetical, okay? So here is Novels for Students. So I can click here and it's going to pull up this series is really what it is. And I'm going to type in To Kill a Mockingbird and select the novel. And then it's going to give me, I've got 2 volumes that actually have To Kill a Mockingbird. Now, even though there are 8 different results, this one is about Cry the Beloved Country. Chances are it mentions To Kill a Mockingbird in there. Okay. So from here, now I have this one on the shelf, but I don't have this one. So if you just look at one of these are great because they have an introduction, plot summary, characters, themes, style, context, and then criticism. Okay. So this is your table of contents. So I want to jump down to criticism. So I've got several articles. So I've got one by Brian Aubrey. I've got another article, scrolling, by Richard Armstrong. And then I've got another article. Usually there's about 3 or 4 different articles. Okay. And so there's a special way to cite that. And I'm going to go over that in a different lesson. But I just want you to know that this right here, you can even say that's the source. Okay. That's the source. And it's Richard Armstrong. And that's where it actually came from. Okay. So I can still do my Control F. I can do, I can do racism. Okay. Now, if we remember the color, then I can, I want to go down. This is the hard part is that it actually makes you go through the whole thing. So I'm at a critical overview. I'm looking, okay, so let's say that in this particular article, I like this one. I like this particular, I keep doing that. Sorry, y'all. Operator error. I'm going to get this whole sentence and then I'm going to highlight it. And remember, I believe we highlighted racism green. And then we're going to put our notes, yourself, okay, and save. Okay, so you go through this article the exact same way that you would go through one of the other articles on Gale Literature database. So it's a little bit different because this one has some extra stuff and it has multiple critical articles. So keep in mind, if you use this particular article, who's the author, by Brian Aubrey, and then you go down and you use this other one by Richard Armstrong, this is not one source, guys. That's 2 separate sources. Okay, so conceivably, you could get all of your articles from this one source, but you don't have to. Okay, so just like in the other one, we want to send it to ourselves. Click on the paper airplane, click Google Drive. It should be there, but let's make sure that it's there. Guess what? It's not in that database. I bet it created a new folder for me. Novels for Students. It just created that folder for me, y'all. So it should be in there. And there it is. Okay, so there's our article. So, okay, well, that's your introduction to AVL, the Alabama Virtual Library. Again, if you need a username and password, email me and I can zip one out to you. If you are struggling with anything whatsoever, having trouble with keywords, you're running into some obstacles while you're trying to research, just let me know. Email me. You can run up here to the library and I will sit down with you one-on-one, however you want, and we'll work it out. I just want to make sure that you're able to navigate AVL on your own with no problems, questions, or whatever. So that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.